This I wanna nail sports to the bone. Top blogger, top YouTube channel. No matter which sports here, we got it covered. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.
What's up, my wonderful peeps? Sports to the bone here again, man. Shout out to all the viewers, subscribers, and the followers. Big up on yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, the torture is finally over. Finally over. I mean, the result is more or less what we have come to expect of the West Indies, or from the West Indies. At least I saw a little bit of fight from Nkrumah Bana and Joshua Da Silva. You know, in the long run, we ended up losing the game by, I think it was about 187 runs. That is what we lost by. So we're going to be taking a look at the numbers. Going to be wrapping up this this first test here. Give you guys my opinion and thing like that. But before we go down into that, just going to ask you to please go right ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please remember to touch that post notification bell so you'll be notified when we upload a video. Also like and leave a comment. Now, probably the only surprising thing out of this test match is the fact that we actually lost 5 days. We actually played 5 days worth of cricket. Now, from 50 yard for 6 to 118 for 7 is very good. Very good. And remember, these weren't top order batsmen. Well, I mean, Nkrumah Bana would be classified as a top order batsman, and Joshua Da Silva is batting in the lower part there. I know a person's gonna say, yes, he's a good batsman, he can open, he can this, he can do all of what you guys think he can do. But the fact of the matter is that he's batting at the wicketkeeper position way down the order. So, yeah, man, to drive home the point that I was saying, from 50 yard for 6 to 118 for 7, that was very impressive from Nkrumah Bana and Joshua Da Silva. They were able to stay out there and frustrate the bowlers, you know, play the ball around and you know, tick over the scoreboard and thing. Now, a couple of close calls, but by Bana and Da Silva, but at least they showed guts. And if you are going to bat for long periods of time in a test match, going up against quality bowlers, you're gonna have close calls. But you know, that is how the game is. And I mean, after that partnership was broken, that was basically it. You know, the big Rakeem Cornwall, he came in and he hung around, got 13 or 46. So he batted time. You know, usually if Cornwall stays that long, he usually scores at a fast rate. But the most important thing last night leading into this morning would have been to really stay out there and occupy the crease. Joshua Da Silva and Bana did it to the best of their ability. When one went, Rock came in and he did his thing. But, you know, as they say, by then, the writing was basically on the wall. So, Bana's 68 from 220 was the top score. Silva's 54 from 129 was next best. I remember Bravo making a 50 yard off, I think it was 200 and something ball, and man, people can't stop talking about that innings. You see that this innings here, 68 from 220 balls from Bana, wasn't a bad innings. Similar to that is just that, you know, it was running out of partners. My viewers and subscribers. And if a couple of the guys, the openers, had done anything, then, you know, we probably would have been in a better position now. But we lost 6 wickets so easily and so quickly. Things just could not have worked. You understand? Da Silva's 54 came from 129 deliveries. So it occupied the crease. He stayed there and he batted time. You see, in that video that I did yesterday, when I shared the interview that Bana did, you know, I was saying that the most important thing is for him and Joshua Da Silva and the other batsmen to go out there and bat time. And I must say they did extremely well. They just could not have done better in terms of really frustrating the bowlers for longer. So, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, at least one of the so-called quote-unquote specialist batsmen would have gotten runs, would have gotten a half century, that in Nkrumah Bana. So the scores in the match, Sri Lanka 380 and 191 for 4 declared. West Indies 230 and 160 all out. Just not good enough. Not good enough at all, my viewers and subscribers. These are the things that we continuously talk about. And you see, going into the next test match, you're going to hear people talk things like, oh, we are going to step it up. We're going to step up the pace. We have always heard those things. So what about doing it? What about doing it and not and postponing it and putting it off? You know, we can ask the question and say what about doing it, but we can also say to ourselves and be realistic. These guys are just not good enough. That is why they always find excuses. They are not good enough. Other teams, other players that are good enough, when they go there and they execute, they will come and say, all right, this was the game plan. We were able to stick to it. You know, we are indeed happy that batsmen were able to go out there and get the runs. Bowlers were able to do this. We don't hear those sort of talking from our guys because they are not good enough. You know, we keep our fingers crossed because we support them and want them to do well. But the fact of the matter is that they are not good enough. So we are always going to hear these stories. Oh, okay, we are going to look to step up the pace. We are studying the bowlers. We are studying the pitch. You know, you don't hear things like that from winning teams, you know. Or even if you hear it from winning team, you don't hear it for too long. All you will hear mostly is, you know, this was the task. We went out there. It is good that a couple of batsmen were able to get themselves in. They were able to execute. We were able to balance out. We don't hear them start talking there. Now, where the bowling is concerned, in the match, Rastan Chase, 5 wickets, right, in the first innings. Shannon Gabriel, 2 wickets. Jamar Warrican, he got 3 in the first innings, 2 in the second innings, so that makes it 5. Cornwall didn't get any in the first innings, 2 in the second innings, so that makes it 2 for him. So if we look at that, let me say 5 and 5, 10, and 2, 12, and 2, 14, right? 14 wickets there. And imagine the guys were able to bowl us out 2 times. 2 times they were able to bowl us out. So you find that the bowlers, they didn't set the place alight, but it wasn't too bad, you know, because getting an opponent for 300 and odd in a test match in the first innings is not the worst. You know, it's pretty reasonable. I mean, they gave away a lot of quick runs in the second innings when the batsmen were in an attacking mood, yes, but the fact of the matter is that our bowlers are under serious pressure, tremendous pressure, because the batsmen are just not performing. They are not performing any at all. So you find that the bowlers, it doesn't matter what sort of work the bowlers do, they are always going to be on the bowling. Something needs to give. And I know we are going to be calling for people to be dropped, and we are going to be calling for people to be sacked. But who do we replace them with? If we look at the stream below coming up, who do we replace them with? If we look for an opener to work with Brathwaite, where are we going to get that opener? If we look for somebody to replace Nkrumah Bada, where are we going to get that man? If we look for somebody to replace Blackwood, where are we going to get that man? Somebody to replace Shea Hope, who is going to come in? And you know, I'm tired to hear this thing about Hetmai and Puran. Obviously, those guys are not into Test cricket. Those guys not going to be playing. So, separate and apart from them, who do we replace them with in the region? Other teams, if 1 or 2 persons not performing, if people get injured, they can easily replace them. Who do we now replace these guys with? I don't know any of my viewers and subscribers, but West Indies, you see, we're at a stage where our so-called specialist batsmen, they are like, they are feelers. That is all they are doing, feeling. When it's our time to feel, they will go out there and feel. Now, we have so much to talk about, my viewers and subscribers, about this. I am definitely going to be scheduling a live, so we can go live later on this evening and talk some more. So we're going to be live this evening at 6 p.m. to take a look at what went down in this test match. Also, later on up in the day, I'll be putting out a next video. I saw a couple of interviews that I want to touch on. I also saw a couple of persons talking about Chris Gayle and what West Indies cricket will have to sacrifice to give this man a final send-off. So we're gonna take a look at those stuff later on in our next video. But just go and big up on yourself, my viewers and subscribers. Make sure you guys taking a pressure tablets, alright? Yeah man, look more.